having raving fans and clients that absolutely will do anything for us to obviously get more themselves, but to help us build and grow is essential for any business to be able to get ahead. So let's jump in right now and find out from a legend of our industry the 3 best steps and the 3 best ways to have an even better client base of raving fans. So let's dive straight in. We know how important it is to have raving fans and to have clients that absolutely love everything about what we do, what we say. They're more accountable, better client outcomes. They help our business grow. And today I wanted to bring on Scott Fisher, who's been in our industry for about a decade from Empowered Healthcare. And well, first of all, Scotty, thanks for joining us.
Well, good, Jace.
And I got to say this up front. You are someone who makes it very, very easy to be able to grow your business. You're disgustingly nice is what I always say. And that obviously helps. You do have charisma, but you're the guy that always cares for other people. You always put other people ahead of you. You're always prepared to do the extra 1%ers and things like that. And I want to dive into that because I know it's one of the big secrets of your success and what you train your own team and things like that. And you mentor others with this. But obviously raving fans are a big part of your business and should be for all health businesses, yeah?
Yeah, exactly. Now, we have a lot of people who are walking billboards of our company and business, so yeah.
Yeah, and the way I always look at this as well is the fact that it's a hell of a lot cheaper and easier and a lot less energy involved to go and work with clients you've already got in the business, to build them, grow them, get better outcomes and have that walking billboard than just constantly trying to keep filling the bucket with new leads.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, mate, let's dive in. The 3 best steps to create raving fans. Love to hear your thought process on it. I gave you this topic about a minute before I pressed record. So you've had no time to prep, which is what I love. On the spot. Mate, what would you say the number 1 step for you that you feel is the best way for you to be able to build raving fans that are walking billboards for your business?
I think the best number 1 would be having a really good rapport with the patient or the client.
Okay.
And even just how you say it, I'd say patient over client any day of the week. So, yeah.
Having isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, having a really good rapport with them is probably number 1, because if you're not on the same page with, you've got to be personal with them, not just medical with them.
Yeah. And look, even it's kind of funny because it's like one word, mate. Like you're just talking patient and client. And I've always said patient. I know some people say it's a little bit, it makes them sound like they're sick. Well, not at all. And if you talk to most doctors, if you said clients or customers or something like that, they'll actually correct you and say they are patients, Pilgrim, not clients. And you go, hey.
Obviously people care for patients. People sell to customers and, clients are, clients of the business. So, yeah. Anyway,
they're customers because they are buying and we're in the business of health, but it makes it rigid and it makes it like transactional if you're calling someone a customer, right?
Absolutely.
And actually, I was in a meeting yesterday with an aged care facility, true story, and it was to do with their audits. And I nearly used the gentleman's name from the Health Commission, actually turned around and he spoke about, what did he say? He turned around and mentioned the customers and I can't think of the other name, but it was like customers type of thing again. And I was like, what? And I actually questioned him and said, sorry, who are you referring to? And he said, the people that are here in the rooms. And I said, the residents. And in aged care, they're residents. It's like, I don't think we should be calling them, customers of an aged care facility. So anyway, slightly different sidestep there, but it's all the same thing, right? It's all about that initial rapport.
It is, because that's the first kind of way to build trust with them. And that's obviously where you're going to get some raving fans from, is if you build a rapport, you move your way down further on the know, like, trust kind of level. And they, can put their reputation on the line by recommending you and your business.
People don't truly buy until they trust.
Absolutely.
So if you're wanting, they might turn up once without necessarily trusting you, but for them to actually lean in and engage with what you've got set out over months, weeks, whatever ahead, you need that trust. Otherwise, they're not going to be accountable. And I'll tell you what, not so much in the last few years, but previously, I get so pissed off when people want to whinge about clients saying, oh, they're just not accountable. The Medicare client they didn't do the exercises, so they're never going to get a result. And for me, I think that's a massive one that's you as a therapist. Like, the response you get from the communication is ultimately your own responsibility. That means you haven't done a good enough job as a therapist if they've been non-compliant. I'm sorry.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how it is, right?
I think my approach with the way I train my team and the way I interact with our, clients, patients is,
Just don't call them customers.
is treating everyone the same, whether they're a work cover, a private patient, a Medicare. Obviously, there's certain things you've got to do with the initial assessments and reports and things, but just that initial few minutes, which I sometimes lengthen out to as long as needed to build that rapport and get that connection with clients, is top of my list all the time. So that's kind of,
you say that you just take as long as you need, like, because this came up the other day with Sarah. In a tribe situation where she was actually saying that her new physio has literally been told by the university, because she's a new grad, that she should only spend the first 90 seconds of an initial assessment on rapport, and then she should move on to assessment and treatment.
There's definitely a place for needing to get something done in a certain amount of time, but I feel like that initial consultation where you're meeting them for the first time is very important in what you speak about, what you talk about, and just how much you dive into talking about their diabetes or their back pain before you even heard a bit about their story or where they're from. I think it's, I think that
people always have a story to tell, don't they?
Yeah, and you've always said people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care, and I've really taken that worn that on my sleeve in my clinical practice, and I thought it works. And the whole consult afterwards really flows smoothly because they're leaning in. They're not their body language isn't crossed like this when you just start talking about all their ailments. They're leaning in. You've already got a few things in common. So yeah,
we know that everyone's favorite topic is themselves as well. Like that is what it is. So the more you make it about them, the more they're going to talk, tell them their story. And for me, I think one of the parts there that you were talking about, you didn't use the words around emotional hooks, but I know that's what you dive in for. Like the more that you ask about them, and the more they talk about, say, their back pain, like you said, back pain, diabetes, they're not actually here for the diabetes. They're not actually here for the back pain. Yeah. No, they've had diabetes for 10 years, 20 years, 5 years, like a long bloody time. They've probably had on and off back pain sporadic episodes for God knows how many years since they hurt themselves playing rugby or something like that 20 years ago. But now there's something else that's an emotional event or a hook that's making them come and do it now. And when you know that, you can really get them on the right path to success. Exactly.
So I always plan a few things about finding out some personal things about them in that intro consult, which then opens up the consult to find out a few more things about them, which can create raving fans, And so, you mentioned before the number one thing people like to talk about is themselves. And then I always find, for other topics to build rapport, it's their family or kids, and then their sports or hobbies, and that goes for doctors and referrers alike, but definitely for patients. I think we're all quite the same on that. And then from there, you can get into your clinical kind of consult and practice, but that leads on to the second thing that really helps with building out raving fans, and that's having them confident in their plan of what you're going to do or their journey with you. I think that leads into number two. Awesome.
Well, here's the thing. We always like to go around 8 to 10 minutes for these podcasts, and we're just hitting over the 9-minute mark already. So here's what I'm going to do. And it's kind of funny. It's like we're just going to take as long as what we need to with clients and patients and stuff like that. And, hey, we've just done the same thing. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to say thank you. I'm going to kill off the podcast right now, but we won't tell anyone, Scotty. And what we'll do is we'll then hit record again, and we'll do the next two and we'll make sure that we're a bit more succinct, so that we'll release that as well. And the next podcast, same thing, another 8 minutes, 10 minutes will be on that second and third one, seeing we've given so much value in that first one. How does that sound?
Sounds good. But awesome. I think that number one is definitely the most important. You're right.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. Absolutely. So value adding that thing. Hey, Scotty, thanks, mate. I'm going to kill this off right now. Let everyone get back into it. And no doubt they'll probably be able to just press number 2 and dive in straight from there. So until next time, guys, I'll talk to you very soon. Cheers. Hey guys, thank you very much for listening to another episode of the Profitable Practice Podcast. I would love nothing more than for you to be able to leave a review. I get so much joy out of listening and reading the amazing things that you guys say about this. So please subscribe to our channel, leave a review, and share it with your friends. Let's get some more fantastic information out there so all of us can grow the industry together. Cheers for now.